back to high school science.
Oh, no.
Right?
I'm excused.
I'll get my homework.
I love it. But seriously, there's a purpose for this, because I think it's so important for us to really clearly understand where we come from and who we are and how we can impact that. And sometimes it's better if we have some visuals, you know, because that spirituality stuff is so like, woohoo, ambiguous. Okay, so it doesn't make any difference whether you're talking the sky or the soil or stars or the ocean or men or women or dogs, cats, wolves, buildings, trees, flowers. Everything at its basic is elementally made up of an atom. A-T-O-M, an atom. It has a nucleus in the middle of it, and then it has protons and electrons floating around it. Those protons and electrons are charged particles. That means they have energy, frequency, vibration. They attract and repel. When they come together, they create things. So here you go. This is your homework. If you have 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen, and you put it together, you have
Water.
H2O, water. Yes, you all pass. We're good. We're good. So, and then let's take it a little bit deeper. We got a lot of bone and skin and muscle, but every process we are and do is powered by water, H2O. So I want you to think about the fact that if the atom to begin with was electrically charged and had vibration, don't we? And obviously, this is just water. Everything has vibration. Our heart, our skin, our body, our eyes, the floor has a vibration. But I want you to think about it in the water sense because, and most of you probably are aware, and if you're not, I'll just say a few things about it. Masaru Emoto was the one that wrote the book about the hidden messages in water. So the gist of it, for those that might not know and to remind others, is he subjected water to different frequencies and vibrations and energy by song and words and things like that. And then I think he froze it and took slides. So the water that was subjected to what we would consider lower vibration was kind of like discombobulated, and it was real all over the place. Whereas the one that was subjected to the beauty and the nice songs turned into these amazingly beautiful crystals. Okay? So, you see where I'm going with this, right? It also, another tangible thing are plants. There was this research they did on plants where they took the same plant, same soil, same water, same pot, same sun, and they talked nicely to one and meanly to the other. Can you imagine talking to your plant? I hope you die. I can't imagine. This is horrible. I love my plants. But for the sake of science, I guess that's what they needed to do. But what happened to that plant? It began to wither. Nothing was different except for the words and the message it was getting. Now, how do you think that affects us? We're living beings made of water, made of all these atoms. We are vibrational beings. Everything about us is energy, vibration, and frequency. I know I mentioned him a lot. Nikola Tesla, this is what he said. These were the secrets and mysteries of the universe. Because the language of the universe is not Spanish, English, German, French, Italian, nothing. It's energy. Now, how is this important to us? Because the plant that started to die, they changed course and started giving it positives. Guess what happened to it?
Came back to life.
It came back to life. The water that had been discombobulated and kind of yucky, when they put positive to it, it turned crystal. We're the same way, guys. That's why it's so important to think about what kind of people, places, and things we are surrounding and subjecting ourselves to. It truly is our choice, the charge that we surround ourselves with. I also want you to think of yourself as a receiver, like a radio or your phone or whatever device you use nowadays, where all you have to do is push a button, turn a knob, ask the phone, and it's going to bring you a genre of music with everything floating around out there, from tweets to Zooms to emails to streaming movies to us talking on the phone. I mean, okay, I could go on and on and on. It goes out and finds your music, doesn't it? The cool thing is if you get a song you don't like, what do? Push a button, turn a knob, request another one. Now, thank goodness not everything happens quite that fast with us. Because as my son had taught me, intrusive thoughts are not things you want to happen like that. Anybody know what an intrusive thought is? Okay, good. I had to teach me that. I was like, not that I haven't been having them, but now I have a name for them. So anyway, so basically, again, you can change it when you need or want to. You know, when you drive out of the St. Louis metro area and then all of a sudden your radio station gets a little static and you can't hear it, you turn around and come back and you got full reception. Your phone, same thing. You can get out of reception. So can we. It's always in us, but we can pinch ourselves off from it. However, we can always power change. Okay? And in this, I want you to be empowered in what a powerful creator you really are. Understanding this science behind it, I hope will help us when we go into some of the more spiritual stuff here in a minute. Because the concept of wherever your attention goes is where your energy goes. And the universe, because it doesn't speak any other language besides energy, it's going to match it. You put out a 5, you're going to get a 5. Put out a 10, you're going to get a 10. You put out fear, you're going to get some sort of fear. You put out love, you're going to get some sort of love. And I know that there's a lot going on in the world, but I want us to look at this almost as a new beginning, because there's so much stuff going on right now that's clearing out, but there's also a lot of stuff coming in. New energies, more powerful energies, more abilities for us. So even if you're experiencing emotional, mental, physical, financial things that are going on, I want you to stay in the mindset that it's trying to pull things out of you to progress and grow. So be patient with yourself. Be loving to yourself. Be compassionate to yourself. Because in the end, you want to prioritize your self-care and self-love so that what you look at and what you see, you love. So I think that because of movies and TV and things like that, we have a concept of love. It's supposed to be between two people. Can be parental, can be friends, can be platonic, can be partners, whatever it is. But what that really is tendrils of universal love. Universal love is really what it's all about. All the rest of that falls underneath of the universal love. It can be between two people, but ultimately it's always all of us. That's the love. This kind of universal love is an energy that is limitless. It doesn't judge. It is a gift, and it's contagious. All you got to do is be it, and it kind of radiates out. You don't have to do much. However, like in life, we get caught up in all these things around us that we're trying to live this story, or we're trying to meet unrealistic expectations. Some we put on ourselves and other people have put on them, whatever we get them, but we really sometimes get caught up in that and forget about the focus we want to try to put on the peace, the joy, the love, because so much depends on the quality of our thoughts and our feelings. And we actually have to choose. Some days it's easier than others. Some days it's a positive day, woo! Other days it's minute by minute to choose the power of positivity. Because we are not meant to exist and survive. That it gets so old and so tiresome sometimes. It really does. We are supposed to be living and thriving. Now, I want to touch base on this power of positivity thing. This is not Susie Sunshine. This is not Mary Poppins. This is not rose-colored glasses. Because stuff happens. It's more of how do we go through those things? How do we think those things? How do we feel those things? That's the power of positivity. That even when things are going on, it's how we go through the process, knowing there's light at the other side. There's light at the end of the tunnel. It's going to be okay eventually. Okay, no matter what you practice. Doesn't make any difference what your belief systems are, in the sense that whether you study scripture or sutras or a program or principles or commandments, any sort of metaphysical philosophies, whatever it is, even what you call yourself, if you want to label yourself a religion or just religious or spiritual or non-spiritual, no matter what you label yourself or practice, if you choose love, you win. It's that simple. When you choose love, you win. And in fact, when you choose love, we all win. That's it. That's it. Maybe someday we'll have the Lena religion of love. Not really, I don't want that. It just makes sense, the L's and L's. But it's true. Because none of the things that you practice, it's really at the basis of love. Okay, and I know this is going to sound funny from a minister that stands up here, and I talk about love in every single message in one way, shape, form, or angle, because I think it's that important. But I don't think you can teach love. I don't think you can teach love like you can in science or 2 + 2. It's about being it. It's about demonstrating it. It's about demonstrating it, and guess who it starts with? Us. You. It starts with yourself. And what you'll eventually do is you'll lead other people to what's already there and awaken them to self-care and self-love. All right, big question. How do you find self-love? Anybody got it in their bag? Anybody brought it with them? I wish it was that easy. Seriously though, when you're looking for self-love, we know where it's at. There's times when something happens and we react one way or the other. Sometimes you gotta dig a little bit. Sometimes you gotta figure out who, what, when, and where, or why, so that you can let it go. But honestly, the biggest part of loving yourself is about relaxing. The more you can relax into it and be in it and demonstrate it, the better off. And I'm not gonna lie, there's times that it's lonely, it's isolated. How many times do you have to recreate yourself because you don't fit in anymore? You're the black sheep, you know, you've outgrown people, whatever it is. But when you do that, that's when you actually get inside of you, where you can find acceptance of yourself and love that part of yourself, until you can finally look in the mirror and love what you see. Because you know what's really in the mirror? What's really in you is divinity. How do you not love that? It's the source. It's God. It's love. It's light. Whatever's comfortable for you. Love what you see. So, one day I woke up in the morning and I was just having one of those spectacular days. Don't know why. Just rolled out of bed. So I started feeding myself mantras. Walking around doing everything, exercising, taking care of the chickens. Everything is good, I am safe, all is well. Anything that doesn't serve me, you know, is gonna get let go. Out of my mouth flies, you're a good person. That's not one of my normal ones. And I could tell the visceral response in my body, there were some parts of my body that didn't agree with that. Now, if you ask me, are you a good person, Lena? Yes, I am, I know that. So where's this coming from? Now, because I've learned and I've tried different ways, I didn't dig this time. I decided this was a relaxed time. So I put it out to the universe and said, if I need to know where this is coming from, because it could go all the way back to wounded child, inner child stuff, all the way to relationships that made me feel like I wasn't good enough or whatever. So who knows where it was coming from? If I need to know, fine, tell me. Otherwise, I'm ready to let this go, because I know it's BS. So then I started, and that wasn't belief system. I knew it was BS. But, so what I did is I started telling myself a different mantra, that I was a good person. Went back to that. Do you know, like in 2 or 3 days, that visceral response in my body went away. That's all I did. Do you know why? Because your body hears everything you tell it. Everything you say, it is absorbing it. So what are you feeding it? What are you doing with people, places, and things around you? And it's not just what you're doing, it's also what you think about what you're doing. So I don't care if you think cake is bad. I don't care if you eat an icing-less, gluten, sugar-free, taste-free piece of cake. If you think cake is bad, that cake you eat is still going to not react well for you. Does that make sense? So it's not just what you're doing, it's also what you feel. So you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. Yes. Okay, another thing you can do, and it's so simple. Start off in the morning, when you wake up in the morning, be grateful. You're alive. You're breathing. You have another day to do whatever. Even if it is a craptacular day, it's still another day. It is still another day. Gratitude is so good. They've shown that when you're in gratitude, you can't really have a lot of other negative feelings. So stay in that gratitude, even if it was that you just didn't step on that squishy worm or something. Whatever it is, just be gratitude for everything. Everything you possibly can. Again, I come back to reality in that I understand the world is problematic. There's a lot going on. It's not that we want to be ignorant about it or put our head in the sands. It's really about looking at the power of positivity as an opportunity to bring out, and I want to say new humanity, but really it's always been there, but maybe it's just been subdued. But I want to bring out that new humanity of reminding us of our magnificence and how wonderful we are, to wake up to things beyond the lies, manipulations, and the stories that we're told, and actually live our real life from within. To be us. Think of yourself as this archaeologist. And basically what you're doing is you're uncovering and discovering the versions of humanity that have been hidden and subdued for a long time. And we are doing this together. We've been doing it together for 7 years and more. But you know, that's beautiful. It's beautiful. Because at the basis, we're all human. There's no judgment in that. There's no separation in that. We're all human beings. It's not until you stir in race that we're disconnected, that you stir in religion that it separates us, that you pour in politics that it divides us, that you wash us with wealth or not wealth, that we're classified, and I go on. But it's not until you start applying all these human things to it that it causes that kind of separation. And at the basis of it, we're all human. It's about us remembering how connected we are at source. At source. So, it's a choice. Do you want to believe the scarcity and the fear? Or do you want to look at the world and this universe as a universe that supports us? The universe supports us. It actually is a frequency shift that will help you, because not only are the mirror is not just that silver thing that you brush your teeth in front of, it's also the whole world. It's a mirror to us. Love what you see. Because when you operate from that place of loving yourself, you glow from within. You glow from an inside source. And you will attract people that respect you and appreciate you and love you and get your energy. And the ones that don't, you're going to pick up on it quicker and move them out of your people, places, and things. Put them in their rightful spot in your life based on the energy. So start feeling your value, your worth, knowing that you deserve the very best from this human experience. You're magnificent. You're beautiful. You're phenomenal. So you may not always see the results of the kindness and the love that you put out in the world. You guys remember the time I told you about the lady I met in the parking lot when she was going 90 to nothing, and all I did was say some comment about her skirt, and I watched her go back into herself? Well, one of my intuitive friends said, Lena, it's bigger than that. It put her in a better place in the moment down the road that could have been a bigger tragedy if not. Whoa. Kind of put a different spin on it, right? But even if it's not, just making her smile was good enough for me. But it made any bigger, and we don't know when it's going to be bigger. It doesn't matter. But every little piece of contribution of love and positive energy that you put into this world You benefit, we benefit, everybody benefits. It really does. So love yourself, know your worth, accept growth, because we know it's going to happen. Appreciate life. These are the things that are actually going to help you survive whatever it is that life throws at you. So love what you see. Namaste.